What if the songs you thought made an artist famous weren't even their own hits? What if some of the biggest names in music owe their success not to their own recordings, but to covers that blew up decades later? And what if the real winners behind those chart toppers were the forgotten writers cashing in from behind the curtain? Before we jump into the list, hit that subscribe button so you never miss deep dives like this, because the truth behind these covers is wild. Our countdown begins with number 10, a track that somehow became bigger twice, and this second explosion changed everything for the original band. Tommy James and the Shondells were major hitmakers in the 1960s, but by the 80s, they were drifting into legacy act territory. Then Billy Idol unleashed a live version of their old hit, Mony Mony. Funny enough, Idol had already released a modestly performing studio version in 1981, but that wasn't the one that mattered. The live version, loud, unfiltered, chaotic, shot straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Millions of Idol fans suddenly discovered the original band behind the track. Ticket sales spiked, record sales jumped, and Tommy James and the Shondells found themselves at the center of an unexpected revival. All thanks to a cover born on a sweaty stage instead of a polished studio. At number 9, we travel to the Netherlands and the forgotten glow of the Netterbeat movement. Shocking Blue originally released Venus in the late 60s, earning a number 1 hit in the US. But by the time the 80s rolled around, the group had disbanded, and their place in music history was fading fast. Then came Bananarama, who reimagined Venus with punchy synths and a glossy pop edge. Their version became a global mega-hit, dominating charts worldwide and stamping the song into pop culture permanently. That kind of exposure didn't just revive the original, it cemented it. A whole generation rediscovered a band they never even knew existed, and the royalties were impossible to ignore. Even today, whenever Venus blasts through speakers, most people think Bananarama, yet the original's legacy is stronger than ever because of it. Number 8 brings us one of the most fascinating transformations in music history. Jackie DeShannon first released Betty Davis Eyes, and while it was clever and well-written, it didn't make waves. It was a good song that simply arrived at the wrong time. Yes, later, Kim Carnes found it and completely reinvented it. Her 1981 version became one of the best-selling singles of the entire decade, powered by a synth-pop bass and her iconic rasp. It dominated the charts, won multiple Grammys, and blasted across every radio station in America. And for Jackie DeShannon, this single cover elevated her entire songwriting legacy, bringing new attention, massive royalties, and a reputation boost that far exceeded anything the original version managed. It's one of the clearest examples of a cover rewriting an artist's entire career in real time. At number 7, we look at a song that refused to die, even when the industry ignored it. Gloria Jones recorded Tainted Love in 1964 as a B-side, a great track buried beneath a single that didn't sell. For years, the song slept quietly, passed over by radio and forgotten by mainstream audiences. Then, the UK's underground Northern Soul DJs revived it. And then, Soft Cell took it and built something darker, colder, and unforgettable. Their 1981 synth-driven version didn't just top charts, it became an alternate anthem for the entire decade. Gloria Jones, once overlooked, suddenly found renewed fame and the title many hold dear, the Queen of Northern Soul. A forgotten B-side had become an immortal mega-hit, and it was all thanks to a cover that reimagined it completely. At number 6, a familiar band returns, because apparently, the 1980s were the unofficial comeback decade for Tommy James and the Shondells. Their original hit, I Think We're Alone Now, dominated charts in the 60s, but once again, it was a cover that brought the band roaring back into public view. This time, it was teen pop sensation Tiffany, whose bubbly, synth-driven 1987 remake rocketed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And this wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural moment. Malls were packed with crowds chanting the lyrics, radio stations played it non-stop, and suddenly, the original band's back catalog was flying off shelves. The funniest part? Tiffany's remake was doing so well that it even knocked another Tommy James cover, Billy Idol's Moni Moni, off the #1 spot. One band, two covers, back-to-back hits. An accidental career renaissance. Coming in at #5, we find a British glam rock band whose US success always seemed just out of reach, until an American metal band unknowingly kicked the door open for them. Slade's original Come On Feel the Noise was a raucous anthem in the UK, but it barely made noise in the States. Years later, Quiet Riot released a ferocious, metal-heavy cover in 1983, and suddenly, the song exploded. Quiet Riot's version became a top 5 Billboard hit, turning the song into an American staple. But behind the scenes, something even bigger was happening. Slade finally cracked the US market. Royalties surged. Their name re-entered the charts. For the first time ever, they broke the American Top 40. And all they had to do was let another band scream their lyrics a little louder. If you're enjoying this breakdown of unexpected musical comebacks, hit the like button, because we're about to enter the top 4. And these next ones didn't just revive careers, they changed music history. At #4, we shift from glam rock to heartfelt storytelling. Harry Chapin's original Cats in the Cradle was a powerful, emotional track that resonated deeply in the 70s. Tragically, his life was cut short in 1981, and much of his music risked fading as the decade changed. Then, Ugly Kid Joe arrived with a surprise twist. Their 1992 cover transformed the folk classic into a full-blown rock anthem, even dropping the apostrophe in the title. Surprisingly, it worked really well. The cover stormed the charts, pulling Chapin's original recording and songwriting credits back into mainstream attention. Younger listeners who had never heard his name suddenly went searching for the version that inspired it all. Cats in the Cradle became timeless again, because a rock band gave it a second life. Now we arrive at #3, and this one is iconic. Leonard Cohen was already a heavyweight songwriter by the 1990s, but Hallelujah wasn't a major hit when he originally released it. His version was poetic, subtle, almost too understated for its depth. Then, Jeff Buckley covered it. His haunting, stripped-down performance didn't just reinterpret the song, it redefined it. Buckley's Hallelujah became the gold standard for emotional resonance, an anthem of yearning and purity that stunned critics and listeners alike. And as Buckley's fame rose, so did Cohen's. Suddenly, Cohen's entire catalog saw renewed interest, with Hallelujah at its center. The lyrics resonated more deeply than ever before, and the song became a global standard covered hundreds of times. Both artists are tied to its legacy forever. But it was Buckley's voice that carried Cohen's masterpiece to the masses. At #2, we hit one of the most profitable one-hit wonders of all time. Norman Greenbaum released Spirit in the Sky in 1969, a fuzzy psychedelic rock track that became a sudden hit and then slowly drifted into nostalgia territory. Greenbaum stepped away from the music industry not long after, shifting into a quieter life. But the song wasn't done with him. In 1986, the glam rock group Doctor and the Medics released a flamboyant, neon-soaked cover that rocketed back up the charts, all the way to #1 in multiple countries. And with that unexpected surge came massive renewed interest in Greenbaum's original recording. Royalty checks returned in waves, radio stations resurrected the track, and Greenbaum, who had long stepped back from fame, found himself returning to the music business as a promoter and manager. Spirit in the Sky proved that sometimes one hit can make a lifetime, and one cover can make it twice. Finally, at number 1, we arrive at the cover that didn't just boost a career, it created one. J.J. Cale had floated quietly through the music world during the 60s, respected but largely unnoticed. Then someone told him that a rising guitar legend, Eric Clapton, had recorded a version of his song After Midnight. That one moment changed everything. Clapton's cover exploded across rock radio, elevating Cale's name overnight. Suddenly, the industry wanted more of the man behind the writing. By 1971, Cale released his debut album, Naturally, launching a long and lucrative songwriting career. Cale never chased spotlight fame. He lived privately, wrote quietly, and let other artists, Clapton, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and more, turn his work into hits. He built a life on royalties, staying out of the mainstream while still shaping rock music from behind the curtain. After Midnight wasn't just a cover. It was a career lifeline, one that turned an overlooked songwriter into one of the most influential, low-profile legends in American music. These stories reveal something most people never consider. Sometimes the biggest winners in music aren't the performers you hear on the radio, but the writers hiding in the credits. A great cover doesn't just reinterpret a song. It resurrects careers, revives catalogs, and introduces forgotten artists to entire new generations. From Tommy James to Leonard Cohen, Jackie DeShannon to J.J. Cale, each of them found new life because someone else picked up their song and pushed it further than they ever expected. If you loved exploring the stories behind these legendary covers, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into music history. Your support helps this channel uncover more hidden stories from the songs you thought you knew.